afternoon, Yuba Sutter. This is the Yuba Sutter Political Spotlight, and the primary election is over. Well, at least for some it's over. We have some supervisors that are still battling it out. And the Sutter County Sheriff. Wow. Second place is going to go to big deal traffic cop Dennis Houck or under Sheriff Jeff Pierce. It's anybody's race right now. 128 votes separates them at this moment. Before the second count, it was 156 votes. Jeff is obviously gaining with every vote that is counted on Dennis. It is anybody's race, folks. We're going to talk about it next, right after this. Good afternoon, Yuba Sutter. It's the Yuba Sutter Political Spotlight. There's only 4 of us today. Tammy's at home again. She took another Mother's Day.
Hey, 2 Mother's Day years, good thing.
So, no, she had other stuff to do today, so she's going to not join us. She'll join us back again next week.
We put a wig on Thomas and put him across on us.
Yeah. Where'd you get that dog song? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's going to be quite a show coming up here because, I mean, we've got, as of last count, I think they did 15 to 1,800 ballots that they counted on Friday. So that means that there's still roughly 9,000 ballots left out there, a little more than. And if Jeff Pierce is starting to run down Dennis Houck already with only 1,800 counted, you do the math, Houck don't got a chance, man.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. I don't know. But that's amazing that there's still that many votes to count.
Yeah, well,
I mean, there must be slow counters.
The whole state's complaining about it.
Okay.
Yeah, slow counts, yeah.
I haven't tuned into any of the mainstream media, so I don't really know.
That's mainstream internet.
Well, if you remember 4 years ago, I was actually the city councilman for a week and a half until I got ran down and ended up getting beat by less than 0.25%. So it does happen. And, you know, I mean, Dennis, if you're listening, live in fear.
Oh, he's listening.
So for sure, Brandon Barnes has a commanding lead.
Oh, yes. He's in it. He's gone. He's off. He's well 1,000 votes over the rest of them. So he's.
But no matter what, not enough. I mean, it looks like he won't go over 51%, right?
Well, you never know because, I mean, I voted for him, and I turned mine in at the last minute because of procrastination. So I know there's at least one more vote out there for him for sure. And, you know, so with that kind of commanding lead, you never know because he's at, 41% right now?
I know a lot of people that turned their ballot. They had a mail-in ballot, but they turned it in on the
Yeah, because he's at 40.2%. So, yeah, he's 10% ahead of them right now.
Yeah.
So he's got a commanding lead. His 4,833 votes. So he's 1,200 votes solid ahead.
I wonder why in the world does it take the elections office so long to count them? Are they still coming in the mail, or what do you think?
Well,
They only got 10 fingers.
If you only got 10 fingers, and, you know, 1,
Can't
2,
they use an abacus or something? I think
They had till 3 days after. It was if it's postmarked on the 5th before midnight, they have 3 days to receive it after that. So.
Okay, cool.
So they may have waited until all the votes were in and not even started counting until Friday.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun, actually, to keep a little suspense out there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I kind of like it.
It's definitely a nail biter for a few. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, even the superintendent of schools is... Ball Dillon has 5,400 votes, and Tom Rooser has 4,800. So obviously they'll be in the runoff together, but that's only 578 votes between them. That's not a lot of votes.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then for the supervisor District 3, there's only 436 between the leader and Mike Ziegemeyer.
So Paul Bossie's leading in that, right?
No.
No, who's leading?
Paul Bossie's third.
Oh.
I mean, no, excuse me. Paul Bossie's first. Yes, he's leading. I was thinking Burt Manuel. I got the two confused.
Okay, so
But what's going to happen is Burt Manuel's folks are going to have to get behind Mike Ziegemeyer. and vote Mike.
Yeah. When I saw or listened to Paul Bossy speak when we had a debate, the only thing ringing in my head is this guy is establishment.
18 years.
Yeah. 18 years doing what?
Planning Commission for Larry Munger.
Wow. That long.
That's what I'm pretty sure that's what the.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I kept hearing key words when he spoke that set off little, alerts in my brain. And it was our region, regionalism, SACOG, all this apparatus that's designed to take the power from the county and put it into the Council of Governments.
Yeah.
So it sounded to me like he was dyed-in-the-wool, a cog operator. So that's a strike for me.
Yeah.
That's all 3 strikes for me right there.
Yeah.
As soon as I hear that, you're strike 3, you're out.
Well, here's a good post I just found. It says, "You can't fix stupid, but you can vote it out." So,
Yes, hopefully, if with enough education, right, we can vote it out.
Well, and I've got a box of Kleenex that I got to send back to Dennis because he sent them over here with Chris Starkey saying that I was going to need them because I was going to be crying at the election. Well, I'm shedding no tears, buddy. None at all.
So you guys got a little rivalry going with little props.
Yeah, it's just a friendly rivalry. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games, man.
I was wondering what that box of tissues was all about.
That's why I got them sitting there on the counter. We'll send them back, though, because we didn't have to use them. Well, along with the trophy.
So what other races are running close that we are?
What's actually running pretty close is Joan Saunders and Andy Vasquez. Realistically, there's 74 votes between them.
between those two,
Between those
Wow.
two, I am shocked.
That's got to have Andy a little.
Little nail biting going on
Bewildered,
there.
huh?
Yeah, little nail biting going on there too. I'm sure.
You
A lot
don't
of people out there want them potholes sanded in.
Apparently, and they want the dangerous shopping
Get those
carts
shopping
on.
carts.
You don't think she came out here and tried to run a board for him, do you?
Well, he would have fired her. I'm pretty sure of it. 'Cause that's the going deal. If you try and run a board for Andy, you're going to get fired.
That's amazing to me that they would run that close.
I am too. I'm very surprised. But now, honestly, if you look at the numbers, Andy only has 344 votes. So there's just not that many people in that district.
That are voting.
Yeah,
That are voting.
820 total right
Yeah.
now.
And
There's-
74 divides them. I mean, 74 is a small number, but in this race, it may
Right.
be a pretty sizable
yeah.
gap.
Yeah. Now there's still 5,607 votes that need to be processed, ballots that need to be processed.
How many people are living in that district? I'm just curious. I mean,
No,
we don't know that.
I've heard
probably,
that
but-
it's right around 1,000. They'll get 1,000 votes total
No, I mean
in that district.
But
that will vote. Yeah,
voters.
but I'm saying
Yeah.
how many people
Oh.
live there? Probably 10, 15,000.
Oh, I
right?
would think. I don't know.
Wow. Can you imagine? It's a sad state of times. If,
It's
if
Linda.
there's
It's- yeah.
15,000 people live there and 1,000 are voting.
Yep.
I would think all of Earl Road, that development out on Earl Road, and that's a lot of people.
Tells you a lot
there.
about why things are like they are.
As long as Mother's Day comes once a month, okay, then it doesn't. I guess it don't matter. Nothing else matters.
Exactly.
They can't get up to go vote, but you see all the free phone booths they have all over the.
Or
Every 300 feet, there's another.
Well, priorities, man. Everybody's got to have a phone.
you can go. They get out to the mailbox on the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They don't even have to go to the mailbox. They put it in there automatic.
Where's my paycheck?
Well,
Have you ever got a paycheck when you didn't do anything?
no.
Yeah.
I didn't know you got one if you
No,
didn't.
me neither.
I drew unemployment once in my life.
Yeah, I've drawn unemployment.
I've drawn unemployment, but the funny thing is about it is whenever you draw unemployment, that's your money.
Yeah.
But boy, they darn sure act like it isn't.
Oh,
You
boy.
got to fight and prove that you don't have a job.
I've drawn
you've been
3
looking
months
for a
of my
job
whole
and-
life.
yeah,
Actually, it's the employer's money.
Well,
The employer's the one
But
that
they
puts
pay it
into unemployment. Yeah.
well, I get that, but once the employer pays it in, it is the employee's money.
Yeah, it's set aside for the employee. It's like
Exactly.
Social Security. in a
But
way.
then you get taxed on it when it gets paid in, and then you get taxed on it when it gets drawn out. How does that work? And if the employer's getting paid in on it when it gets paid in, why is the employee getting taxed on it when it gets paid out? We're getting off the beaten path, but it's just, I mean,
Brown economics.
hey, you guys both have new trucks. Have you looked at your license fee on those trucks?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just wondering what is it?
Well, I think mine was about 900.
900?
And mine was a used truck. I mean, it was a few months old, but it was almost 700.
Yeah, that's
And when I get to Idaho, it's $65.
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Because I just got through paying my cars. They all came due at the same time. That was like a $1,400 bill this
Yeah.
year.
For all four of my trucks, it's somewhere between $1,600 and $2,000.
That's
Well,
unbelievable.
With me, I constantly have something showing up from the DMV and something going out.
Oh,
to the
yeah.
DMV. Pretty much year round. Man.
Well, I'm going to have something showing up from the CHP here in a little bit. They finally got me. I think it's a conspiracy. They've been after me for a while.
Well, you know who used to work for the CHP?
I know your buddy Sean Harris.
Wow.
What's that jaw drop for?
Wow.
He's your buddy.
So let's switch gears to the city council.
Yep.
That is 6 people running, you say?
It sounds like there's for sure 6 if the incumbents run. So I'm including Preet, Didball, Stan Cleveland, your buddy Stan Cleveland, everybody's buddy Stan Cleveland, sheetrocker.
Stinky?
Yeah. And then also our Mr. Sweet Life over there,
Ooh,
John Buckland.
John Buckland.
I don't like sheetrockers. Now, the other day, man, we had every window in the house was open except for 4 on the wall that we were working on. And the sheetrockers had to come and cut our plastic on those last 4 windows.
Well,
You know what I mean?
they had to get the airflow moving through there. They peed in the tubs earlier in the week, and it was stinking. They got to get that air moving through there. You know how it goes with them guys.
So I don't want to get into sheetrockers again.
Okay,
That gets-
enough said.
Yeah, it gets me amped up.
So, and then there's 3 that have announced, I guess. I don't know who they are right off the top of my head. Wow, I can't even remember. But there's 3 that have announced, and it looks like Mark Boomgarden is positioning himself to go ahead and run, the old fire chief, because he needs some
Needs
kind of
more money.
He needs
needs
more
more money.
retirement money?
Yeah, he needs
or-
more
good
retirement
Lord,
money.
I mean, $250,000, isn't it?
Well, you think about it, they pay for the insurance, and CalPERS doesn't pay the insurance, so he needs that insurance back, so he's taken care of on insurance. So he needs an insurance, coverage, so that'd be a fine fit for that.
Yeah, it's a sad state that we got mostly former city employees that are on the city council. I mean,
Yeah.
is that the Fox
Yeah.
Watch and
Wow.
the hen house or what? Huh?
Oh, I just got a text. So Mark
Yep.
Boomgarden has announced, and then Grace
Grace,
Espindola
yeah.
and David
David
Shaw.
Shaw.
Yeah.
So Grace Espindola couldn't make it as a Sutter County supervisor, so now she's going to back down like Preet Didball did, and trying to start at the bottom at city council and work her way back up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, she's got aspirations, I guess. huh?
Yes.
Well, hey, Larry Munger supported her in the last election.
Well, and she is looking for Dirty Wit's job.
Well, that'd be good.
That's
That-
where she's looking
yeah,
for. At least that's the scuttlebutt that I'm hearing, is she's looking for Dirty Wit's job.
Grace is?
No.
Oh.
Preet
Preet?
Didball. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, we got a lot of
Grace was a plant by the Democrats.
lateral movement.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about here coming up in a few weeks. I mean, it's going to get crazy fun. But the other thing about it is has Stan? I know Stan was a sheetrocker for a little bit, but has he ever had a regular job since you've known him?
Ooh, not since I've known him. I haven't known him all that long.
The job I want him to have is called interposition. Interposing for the people.
No. If he thinks there's
Yeah.
somebody conservative coming along, he wants to beat them up, and not get them in there. He doesn't want anybody to look more conservative than him. He wants to be the most conservative on whatever he's setting on.
Yeah, that could
But
be
the guy isn't that
a
conservative.
strategy.
Yeah.
No, it's like most Republicans, right? You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they're just imposters.
God forbid
So,
that a real conservative
yeah.
come along and sit on a panel.
I'm a Republican. I mean, I'm part of the Republican Party. Okay.
Yes, you are. You're
And
the
I have-
president of the
Yuba Sutter Constitutional
Constitutional
Republican.
Republicans.
Yeah. So, but
Whether you know it or not.
here's but I can't stand turncoat Republicans
Oh.
like John McCain and the list goes on and on and on. Okay.
Well, I mean,
John
isn't
McCain's
that
the one that
considered?
stands out
Isn't
of
that,
my mind.
isn't that considered treason to the party?
Sure?
I mean, that's what I'd look at it as.
Am I being treasonous?
No,
you
no,
mean?
no,
Yeah.
no, not you.
Could be
but like
considered
McCain.
that.
No.
No, I'm thinking McCain and those guys.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are-
Well,
yeah.
yeah, they are.
The
I mean,
establishment Republican.
Exactly.
They're not holding Republican principles.
No,
At all.
not at all.
So the true Republican, he would line up more with the Constitutional Party.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or the
Well,
Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
Actually,
But in reality,
the Independent Party, they're all constitutional too.
Well,
in reality, it's a rigged game.
the
where we
Yuba
have
Sutter
the two
Constitutional
parties.
Republicans.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yes, that's,
there you
That's who
go.
we are. So I'm going to read a little plank here that I pulled off the Constitutional Party website, Constitution Party, and it says, we are committed to restoring honesty, integrity, and accountability to government. Imagine that, huh? Accountability, honesty, and integrity. Okay. And then, well, there's a bunch of other questions. Do you think that it is the proper relationship between the people and their elected officials?
Integrity was one of the things that Pastor Dave talked about last night. That exact word.
Yep.
Getting it back out into our government.
Yeah. Now we have a few, very very small few
Yeah.
that have maintained their integrity. Yeah.
Name one.
Well, as far as I don't know the lady's name.
Mike Lee.
There's a lady on the city council in Marysville.
Oh,
Steve-
Stephanie
Stephanie, yeah.
McKenzie. I
She seems to have some integrity.
saw her
That's
last
true.
night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
It's hard to think about it, because they're so far and few between
Yeah.
that it is hard to find them. I mean, it just is.
Right. And I don't, I don't want to pick on Stan, but I don't think he's maintained his integrity,
Yeah.
being true to the people.
No.
By no means.
And, that's going to be really interesting this time with this radio show. And, we're going to make the same promise to those folks as we made to everybody else. We'll be at every forum. We'll be at every time you speak. We're going to be there. So you better be very careful of just talking to the audience that you think you're talking to. Because the fact is there's enough of us now that we'll get it and we'll play it over. Just like David Joyce. I'm sure that guy, whether he admits it or not, is very, very sorry he said the county has more rights than the property owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
And didn't he try to
stronger
backpedal?
than the property owner. Oh, he tried to contact me 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, but once you say it and you're that and
exactly, you're that entrenched in it,
That's the right word.
and
entrenched,
just that strong about it.
There's no takebacks.
No, sorry.
No, he said it from the heart.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what he believes. That's
he was
what
under
he
the
wants.
gun. Whenever you put him in the corner, he was under the gun, and he fought back with exactly what he believed.
Yes.
I mean,
And
Tom asked him straight up.
It destroyed him.
Do you believe that the county has more rights? And he said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Didn't even take him long to think about it.
So, but I want to put that same thing out to both city councils that look, we're watching, and we want good people in there. We really do.
We're in bad trouble
So-
all over this
Yes, we
county,
are.
our nation. We have got to do things right.
So when you were talking about any person that's running for office out talking to the people or at their forums and stuff, what you were describing was pandering.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That's exactly
Yes.
the word. That's a word.
Because most of them, that's what they do. They pander.
If they're talking to a Tea Party, they're all about taxes and property rights and everything else. Whenever they're talking to, The Republicans, it's totally something different. It depends on who they're talking to, what they're saying. And Stan is guilty of that all day long.
Yeah. We need quit pandering.
Yep.
You know, what do we call people that pander all the time? Panderers.
Pander.
Homeless.
Don't be a panderer.
Oh, I guess I had to be a panhandler, huh? Looking for a handout.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they are kind of looking for a handout at running for office.
Yeah,
Putting your
and,
vote.
And you gotta wa-
they take your money and hand it out to others.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Well, that's Newsom's idea. Gavin Newsom. He's going to give us all free health care, baby.
yeah.
It's only going to cost $400 billion.
Now I listened to my pastor this morning. He talked about he's a native of Sweden.
Yeah.
Okay, he talked about their tax rate right now is about 51%
If they're lucky.
in
yeah.
Sweden. It's
is-
outrageous.
Well, didn't they in Sweden? Didn't they just say that they were going to stop all their freebies to all these people they brought in? I thought they were just in dire needs. I just heard something about
Yeah,
that.
I'm not familiar with that, Randy, but I know that it is a big social experiment in Sweden. And being that I've known this man for 20-some years, so I hear, he keeps
in
tabs
touch,
on
yeah.
it.
My wife has relatives in Sweden.
Yeah. So he's been a United States citizen, I think, since 1968. He doesn't call himself a Swedish American either.
An American, I
Calls
bet.
himself an American, yes. So he left Sweden, and he's no longer,
It's like all the Mexicans running around saying that I want to be a Mexican American and carrying their Mexican flags. Put your Mexican flag down, or put it in your room and carry the American flag.
yes.
Be proud to be an American
Yeah.
if you're a legal citizen.
Yeah, when you come to America, you have an obligation to assimilate.
I didn't know you were racist.
Well, I'm not.
Well, we
And
were.
none of us here are. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, we were
No,
hanging
not
out with
at all.
Jake McCauley this weekend,
Oh, yeah.
so
He's a KKK leader. Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
I was born and raised 30
really?
miles from the Mexican border, so
Surely that isn't who
Yeah.
Dennis was talking about whenever he made that mention. but-
No, he was talking about Thomas Jefferson.
Okay, that's about like
No,
saying
yeah.
Jake McCauley's
Yeah.
one. I mean, it
There
does.
you go.
I don't know. That's insane.
Well.
Just pure insanity. But it was good to have Jake up for the weekend and get to
powerful
go to
speaker.
and get to
Yes.
go to some of his sermons. Well, the Friday night one was much better. I enjoyed Friday night a lot. That was really
Yeah.
cool. Last night he got kind of shorthanded a little bit and got only 30 minutes to talk, but he's definitely a good speaker and knows his Constitution.
Yes.
So that was pretty awesome.
And that's what we'd like all appointed, elected, and
Well,
any kind of person that takes
we need to look at
an
'em-
oath to support and uphold it.
Yeah.
we need to look at them all very close and right through a magnifying glass, because there's a lot of them out there that say that they're a certain way to get that office. Kind of like one of those Yuba City councilmen over there. I think
Yeah.
he's a council. And they're not what they appear or what they say they are.
Well, and that's one thing I want to say right now is, there's Tammy's got a 1-day class she's practicing and studying right now that is for just elected, I hate to use the word elected officials, but elected servants. And, we had what will soon be the two lead sheriff candidates, because I really do believe in my heart that Jeff will catch Pierce. I mean, Jeff Pierce will catch
Catch Dennis
Dennis
Houck.
Houck
Yeah.
in this run before it's all said and done. And Jeff Pierce and Brandon Barnes both came to that Sheriff and the Citizen constitutional class. And I can tell you right now, we're going to do the same thing for the city council people who will come. We'll give
That's right.
them the free airtime. We'll get them in here, get them an ad cut, but they need to go to the constitutional class. They need to burn a day and go to the constitutional class. It's 1 day. I think it's actually only like 6 hours long, 4 hours long.
It's not. I think it's 4 hours long.
It's-
yeah.
So it's 4 hours long, and it's going to take them. And I mean, you'll be at the top of our list for somebody that we'll be looking at for our vote.
yeah.
Yeah, if you attend and it makes any kind of impact. on
Yeah.
you. I mean, if you're attending just to
Just
try
to
and
suck up.
pander for votes, no.
If you
Exactly.
come and don't get up and walk out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, you think about it. What was it? There was 30 or 40 people at that one that
No,
Penny put on for the sheriff.
Yeah, there
So I
was-
mean, you got a captive audience,
There's at least 40.
and then we're going to give you some radio airtime. So it works out for you. But the fact is you're going to have to show up, and you're going to have to pay just a little bit of attention to your constituents and get it done. But we'll be more than welcome. We'll more than be happy to welcome you on, and just to listen and pay attention and realize what the Constitution's about, and that you're taking an oath to uphold the Constitution and stand in that gap between your constituents and an overreaching government.
That's right.
And that your overreaching government may only be the city, but guess what? We don't want a 1% sales tax. No. The people didn't want the annexation. So that's going to be your job, and your other job is going to be to hold that Steve Krager accountable whenever his engineers can't meet a budget or bust a budget by 25 or 30 or 40 or 50%.
Yeah.
You need to hold those people accountable, man.
Yeah, who's doing accounting over there?
Hey, send them back. Send
Hey.
them back and say, do it over.
Yeah.
The annexation lost 70-30.
I know if that wasn't sending a message, I don't know
That
what
was
was.
a message.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't live in that area, but I'm glad to hear it.
I like it whenever people send a message and the message is received. It isn't just about, well, maybe. No, it's a, nope, we're going to do this. We don't want this.
Here's a message for Sutter County. Sutter County's paying Gene Jordan. Gene Jordan's their county council. What is it, $250,000? I think it's $250,000 thereabouts. And she told him, don't fight that homeless suit you have against you because you can't win it. So what did Yuba City and Sutter County do? They both went out and hired some high-priced lawyers to fight it.
So
It's easy to hire a lawyer with someone else's
Other
money.
people's money.
Yes.
OPM. They're hooked
but
on opium.
doesn't Yuba City have an attorney that they have on staff? And
I'm sure Yuba City's got. Well, let's go see.
I'm sure they do. I know they do. It was a generic question, kind of. It was a statement. It wasn't a question. But the problem is that they got one. What is that guy doing if he can't handle that? Why does he have a job?
I don't know what Yuba City told him, but I know Gene Jordan told him, forget it.
Wow.
Hey, here, I'll just read this, and this
Right.
fits right with the what we're talking about. This is from the Constitution Party. They give their 3 pillars, okay, and it says, we feel that government is the most ineffective, inefficient, and most expensive way to get anything done. As such, we are offering innovative and effective non-government solutions to the country's social spending issues. How about that, huh? The homeless, right? That's a social spending issue. Okay.
Yep.
We're offering innovative and effective non-government solutions. So government needs to, it's not the answer.
Well, and look at that. Look at this. This is a good example of Glad Tidings Church says we have an idea that we want to try out. But, to do this idea and put in these mobile homes and put in this park down at the other end to where it's not going to bother anybody, there's no local homes by it, it's going to cost us $70,000. We don't want to pay that. Do you think the government would step in and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We got to try something. We like your idea. We're going to waive the impact fees and all the fees because that's something we can do that's not going to cost the government anything. And it's going to let Glad Tidings do it. Nope, we're not waiving that fee. Heck no, we're not waiving that fee. We want that money. Well, you're going to get your butt sued because you're not doing the right thing for the homeless. So you're going to get your butt sued whenever you could do something that isn't going to cost you anything.
Yeah, that might actually work.
Exactly.
Because all they're offering is more welfare. It's not going to work.
And it's going to cost us money.
The welfare is a responsibility of the church.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, and if it's got to line up with the Bible, and the Bible says this: if a man doesn't work, neither should he eat.
Yep.
So there you go.
And check it out there. They're going to be doing work. They're going to be doing some kind of work during the work day. They're going to be going to church in the afternoon or at night and on Sundays. And if they don't pull themselves up or make some kind of effort, the church is going to get rid of them. Say, you know what, this isn't working out. Sorry, here's your stuff.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep.
And they'll bring it in and they'll want to try it again. And they probably will have, I would guess, probably about a 30% rate that they're going to get back into society. But that's better than the rate we have right now.
Which is 0.
Exactly.
Sure. I took a picture. I got a resident homeless guy that stays at my place. I mean, at my office.
Well, it's radio, so we can't see the picture.
Yeah,
we can see it.
No, I know.
Not everybody else
But
can.
I took this picture. I'll show it to you guys later.
Well,
But, you know,
get it to one of us, and we'll put it up on
Yeah.
the Facebook, the Yuba Sutter Political Spotlight Facebook, and so everybody can see the dude.
yeah. So he just shows up and taps into my electrical plug, you know, and so whatever. I haven't run him out of there or anything.
Well, it's cheaper to give him the electricity than to have him come back and tear stuff up.
yes.
Just plain and
That's
simple.
right. So that's
Yeah.
kind of my
I've
philosophy.
I've got to
on the
make
matter.
I've
And-
got to make an amendment real quick. It's Jean Jordan Ferguson, I guess, and she only makes $221,000 a year
For what position?
for the city for the county council of Sutter County.
Only 221.
Yeah, well, that's total pay. That's
How,
amenities and
how does she make it on that kind of money?
This was in front of Mike's
I mean, she must just
apartment.
barely be scraping by.
I could make it for almost 10 years on that.
Well, come on, Bill. At $10,000 a show on the weekend, come on. Don't give me that crap.
Well, you know.
When did he get a raise?
Now Randy knows.
Checks are in the mail, dude. You'll be getting one too.
So I divided that 221,000 by 52 and got $4,250 a week.
I don't know. She must have won the lottery.
Man, that's some pretty good wham, right?
Yep.
Walking around money.
Walking around.
So, unbelievable.
You know, she went to Reno every weekend. She could double that.
So that's the result of city employees moving on up the ladder or moving, I guess you can't really say the ladder, but moving into city government, right?
Well, and sure. And then, like the fire chief, then whenever you retire, then you come back and do city council so you get your insurance for free. So now you're getting your check, plus you're getting your insurance, and you're working, a little bit, but, you're more or less running around just hanging out.
It's the greatest program going in the USA.
Yeah, it is.
That's how Manny played it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, more power to these guys. But the problem is they got to realize that they are elected. And the people are a little bit right now, I believe.
Well, hopefully so.
Not enough of them yet.
I think, we're reaching a lot more because I'm noticing when we go out in public, we're getting hammered anymore by people talking to us about the show, what we said last week, and we should look into this or look into that.
Yep.
And, I've got a couple of voicemails a day of look into this, look into that, drive down this road, check this out. So,
Well,
we don't
good,
have a
good.
very big listening audience, but I think it's getting bigger by the weekend. And it seems to be like people are paying attention. So,
Anybody that's got skin in the game,
Or a dog in the
you
fight.
know, what I mean, they're paying taxes, okay? Because a lot of people don't have no skin in the game.
That's
okay?
right.
Then they ought to be paying attention and trying to get things moved back in the right direction.
I think they're starting to. I have faith that they are, but we'll see. This election will tell a lot, I think.
So, Pillar 3 on the constitutional party, it says, we want to create the greatest economy for the United States that the world has ever seen. We will do so by restoring true capitalist versus crony capitalist principles to our economic policies. Are you aware that over 50% of small businesses will fail within 3 years, and that only 33% of all businesses can make it to 10 years? Does that sound like a country of prosperity and opportunity to you? Do you know that government involvement in business is listed as one of the largest factors for these failures? So, pretty interesting, I thought. We got to get back to true capitalism, people, small businesses out there generating and producing, and not being taxed to death. So, if you just think about the amount of taxes that are going out, and it sounds like, oh well, a penny, another penny to the sales tax, it ain't no big deal. Okay, that's probably what they said in Sweden, and now they're at 51% of their income going in taxes.
Well, like Yuba County now, if you do anything in the foothills, and you get a permit, like they want you to do, you got to go put a water storage tank to get that permit on your property and have it all plumbed in for the fire department. They will not issue a
permit for anything.
For anything. That's what all my neighbors, I've watched them getting these tanks, and they said to get that permit, they were required to put a storage water tank on their property.
Now that's in Yuba County, correct?
Yuba County.
Okay.
Now,
I wonder if it's the same in Butte County.
Do you guys in Sutter County have to have, if you build a new home, sprinkler systems in it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a new
Okay.
building code now. Yeah.
Statewide?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
I was in, I believe it was either Nevada County or Yuba County, because I was driving all over the other day, and I saw some guy pulling a trailer with two of those water tanks on it, and one of them was barely hanging on, you know. So yeah,
You had a double, huh?
there's a lot of tanks being put in.
They must not have that
And moved
requirement.
around.
They must not have that requirement in Butte County, because I just put in a well house and did my pump and everything yesterday, my whole solar system. Oh wait, I didn't get a permit. Never mind.
Oh, damn.
That may be why. Oh well. What do you know? Living on the edge. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous whenever the government tells you exactly what you have to do to be able to put a shovel in the ground, and it's to the tune of about $60,000 in Yuba City to put a shovel in the ground.
To build a home.
Yep.
Hey, that's cheap, you know.
Wow.
You just thank God they're not trying to keep up with Sacramento.
But the problem is it's less in Sacramento.
It's less in Sacramento.
It's less in Sacramento.
my
It's less in
God.
Roseville. Our Yuba City Council is trying to beat us into a
They
recession.
want to be a leader.
Yes.
That's how a leader acts.
Exactly.
Hey.
Yeah, it's actually less in Rockland, Roseville, and Sacramento to put a shovel in the ground than it is in Yuba City. Now, I haven't checked
crap.
in a while, but in about last 2 years ago, it was definitely cheaper to do it in any of those places than in Yuba City. Now, they may have adjusted it some since then. I haven't looked, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. That's the way they are. It's just, you know what? It is what it is. And we want our money out of it. And with the 1% sales tax, could you see them cutting their back on their permit fees and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
If they're needing that money, that 1% sales
they'll
tax
cut-
increase,
they'll
they ain't
cut all
cutting
the
back
rest
on
of
anything.
these. Sure.
So, yeah. Welcome to Yuba City.
So I wonder what happened with the election on the propositions. I never really got a chance to look into
know,
that.
People are stupid. They passed the road thing. It was a monkey in disguise, trying to tell the people that all this money was going to go for the roads when it's not. It breaks the cap, or it backdoors the cap on one of the spending limit things, and you know. And I think they passed clean water because our water isn't clean enough.
Well, you want clean water, don't you?
You want safe roads, right? And you want your children to be able to get to school safely, right?
Right.
Yes.
Well, the smoothest road I've ridden on lately is through Marysville. That's just where they just redid the main drag. But as soon as you get off of there, man, it's pretty bumpy. And there's a nice big bump forming right there on Highway 99 and 20 on 99.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
have you
if
noticed
you hit
that?
that in the center, I hit the center of that.
Yeah.
I was switching lanes in my vet the other day,
I'm
and I
wondering-
hit that. Oh, I thought it ripped the underneath out from underneath
Okay,
my car,
yeah.
man.
So I was on my scooter with my wife, and I almost threw her over the handlebars when I hit that thing. But I'm wondering if they're going to let it grow another 12 inches or if they're going to get out there and grind that thing down.
Now you're talking right there, Highway 20, Highway 99. You're going just after Highway 20 southbound, right there, just almost to where you enter into.
It's just almost to where the Spurbeck's nursery used
exactly.
to be. Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a gnarly one.
And it's on the other way heading northbound too.
I'll tell you what, though, no joke, and you hit that center where the where the two lanes come together. Oh, wow! I mean, it was gnarly.
Yeah.
I thought it really knocked something loose in my car.
Well, I thought I saw 4 or 5 shopping carts down in a hole in there.
Just took my
Ready to jump out at you.
It's a shopping cart plot.
But yeah, come on, man. Let's fix it.
The shopping carts
you
that
got
can kill somebody are all over
billions
here.
of our dollars.
All the shopping carts that are deadly are in Yuba County.
Yes.
They didn't migrate to you. They're not the MS-13 carts
Well,
over in Yuba City.
my brother and I were over at Bel Air the other night, and I had parked just a little bit out of that parking lot, man. He was pushing that shopping cart, and that wheels locked up on him, man. Almost threw him over the handlebars.
Oh, they got the new shopping cart
Yeah.
deal. Wow.
That was comical to see, boy.
So-
Anyway, that's beside the point.
So, has anybody endorsed Cox now that he actually won? Has anybody
You know,
any of the ones that were
big Travis
boasting
people.
Travis Allen or
no, James, I don't know. He may have taken some time off. Although somebody's been tweeting on Twitter in James's name, but I haven't heard him come out in support of John Cox yet. Or Assemblyman who I voted for, you voted for, Tom probably voted for, Randy voted for.
Yes.
I think we got 4 supporters here. Tammy, I'm sure she voted for him.
yeah.
But I'd like to see him come together and come out, James. Young James, I'm calling you out, buddy. Come on, where are you?
Yeah,
Let's have some come together moments here.
This is the most important race in this state, this governorship.
Yeah, I believe
I mean,
so.
oh yeah, it is.
Now,
I'm really hoping to see John Cox win for Gavin Newsom's sake, because, if he wins, just think about all the rejection that he's going to have from us. You know
Well,
what I
and
mean?
just think about the
and
mass
all the
exodus.
non-compliance is going to take place,
Well,
yeah.
right?
and
So,
check it out.
I know he thinks he's a king, but
I don't think he thinks.
yeah.
In his mind, I think he knows
So
he's a
he
king.
it
To
might
somebody.
really damage his feelings to realize that all of us up here in Northern California are not going to be playing his game.
Well, what's going to be interesting is all the working people are going to have to leave California. So then what are they going to be left with?
That's what the liberals
Yeah.
are after.
But one of Brown's spokesmen said that they are planning for that. They need the room for all the people that they are planning to bring in.
Okay.
And the only thing I can think where they're getting the backing for all this, he kind of spilled a little bit
Mexico
more.
or-
The UN is all I can think of. Where does Brown spend a lot of his time?
Well, what'll be interesting is if we all leave, are they going to do the tax on us to where when are you going to leave that there's going to be an exit tax?
Well, yeah, I got to get out of here
There you
before
go.
that. I don't know how they're going to implement that.
It'll
Well, I mean,
It'll be
we might
grand-
be.
it'll be grandfathered in.
Thanks.
Hey, we might be in the same position, as all those guys south of the border. We might be trying to sneak out of California,
Into Mexico. huh?
Exactly.
right?
Hey, I
We
think
might need.
I think they shoot you in Mexico.
I think maybe we ought to start a little coyote operation to get
go.
people out of California safely.
$1,500 a head.
So, man, that's a mind blower. Where you heard about this is a real deal they're thinking about, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
An exit tax.
An exit tax.
Wow. That's
Well, Jason,
crazy.
did you say you heard it too?
No, I didn't heard it. I heard it from you. I didn't
There
hear
you
it
go,
really.
starting rumors again.
That's okay. Just our opinion.
Hey,
That's the best rumor I ever heard, man. I'll
It'll
tell
get
you
back.
if it
It'll
is
get
one.
back to Sacramento. It'll be in the.
Well, it was on the
committee
internet. It
on
was on the
Monday.
internet, so it's got to be true.
Well, they're gonna hit you up for a job, Randy. If you thought of that, what else could you think
Well,
of?
if a lot of these people actually went out of state and saw how cheap it is to live, like a building permit. We were talking about.
Yeah.
See what a third world country doesn't look like?
Yeah, in Idaho, when I was talking about, because I wanted to put a shop, that they told me the permit was $10.
Wow.
My neighbor just put in one of those little tin buildings, not a huge one, a 30 by 25 or something. He had to put the water tank in. The first person that he went told him that I think the permit was going to be $1,900. I think he got it down to around $1,000 when he went in to finally get it.
And this is here in Yuba County.
Yuba County.
Yeah.
And then you get to invite the building inspector onto your property. That's awesome. That's a good deal. You give him $1,000, then you get to invite a public official onto your property. Awesome.
There
I
are no
love the
public
idea.
officials.
I
They're
know.
all public servants.
Well,
So $10. in
try telling
Idaho.
him that.
$10.
You're right about that, Jason.
That's one thing John Cox wants to do. Like Trump, he wants to cut a bunch of regulations in the state.
Well, he could do away with the EPA and
Yeah.
air quality right
oh,
now.
thank you, God. Go away, carb.
What do you you guys don't love children?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no.
know. Well,
No,
I'd rather
Not if
see
they're-
him eat dust.
not if they're with the EPA or air quality.
I'm so sick of that liberal left wing tactic.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that we're doing
It's
this
for
for
the
the
children.
Yes.
So we got some conservative issues on the ballot in November.
I believe that's what Preep Didball ran on
I
was
think
for
it
the
was.
children.
Yes, it was.
Sorry, I just had to get that. What's up?
Well, the gas tax repeal is going to be on there. That's going to bring out conservatives. It's going to bring out the poorer of us that can't afford it. I don't know why the Democrats thought that was such a great idea. They lost their supermajority in the state senate because of that.
Well, because everybody should take public transit.
Well, yeah, but it's for the poor. They're for the poor. The Democrats are always for the poor.
Well, they're giving them
and the
free public
underprivileged.
transit.
Well, yeah, that works great out here. I got to walk 10 miles to get to a public transit place.
Hey, I don't know. They weren't always for the poor because, they were the knights in white satin.
Well, they were the
Back in the
knights
day,
in
right?
white satin. I think they still are.
Yeah.
I'd love to have all my
Yeah.
black brothers on the
They're
plantation
They're
again.
still running the plantation,
That's right.
man. You got it.
That's right.
Yes.
You're killing me, Smalls.
That's right. And then we're going to have there's going to be a Proposition 13 initiative on the ballot also that will allow you to sell your home and move to another and still retain your Proposition 13 tax rate.
Wow.
So-
Now, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good conservative things that are going to be on the ballot that'll bring out conservatives, older folks, and poorer people, and hopefully, the poor. The Democrats aren't for you, pals. They really not. You think you're going to get free health care in California? I tell you, if you're renting and you're poor, you're probably renting, or you own a house and you're just maxed out. Your taxes are going to go up. Somebody has to pay for that $400 billion. Your landlord's taxes are going to go up. The water rates are going to go up.
PG&E is going up.
Everything's going to go up, and you're going to get to pay for it. But no, it's free health care.
Every PG&E bill that I get now has an offer for some kind of
Program.
assistance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, that's just a welfare program.
And it's
man.
not just one bill anymore. It's got 10 different little fees on it.
Yes. So PG&E has become an entity of the state.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, just as a PUC,
They're
best buddies.
that's fascism right there to the bone. So
No, I think it was a hard fought battle between Cox and Allen. I think Cox has a chance of bringing out more swing voters, more independents than Allen ever did. I really do. He's calmer. No, he doesn't sound like a carnival barker trying to sell you something, and he has a lot of issues he's running on, and one of them is just how badly our state suffered under the last decade of Democratic rule.
yeah,
It's no longer the great state of
I'm hoping
California.
to see him win.
Yeah,
If we vote, if the California voters vote on the gas tax, okay, and it gets repealed,
Mm.
okay, then right on. I'm going to stick around a while. But if we have that on the ballot and they vote against it, the California voter, I mean, that is the absolute insanity program, right?
Everybody needs
then-
plaster.
Then I'm gonna have to roll, man. I think
I hear you.
I'm gonna have to roll if I see that happen.
That's crazy.
You know.
I don't know what haven't they taxed yet? They tax the air you breathe.
Yes.
They want to tax the water you drink.
Well, I think the next big tax program is going to be, and you can mark my words on this, okay? And I've been thinking
It's going
about
to be
it.
on you. Services.
Well, I think they're going to tax the sun.
Well, yeah.
You know, do you see that coming? They're
Hope they're
going to
not-
tax the sun,
Hope
man.
they're not listening.
And and you know how they're going to do it? Everybody that has solar now will have to pay a big fat tax. You know, I mean, how these people that have solar? Okay, now you just did a little solar project. You are actually robbing the rest. I mean, you're robbing that sunshine, man. Don't you feel guilty?
You're taking sunshine
No.
from somebody else.
That's one of those things that God provided me with, just like my rights
Yes.
that are mine. It's mine.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
mine. I can use it as I see fit.
And you know, I was talking to somebody last night. Well, it wasn't. No, it was last night. It was talking to David, who was staying with Jake. He was saying, you know, and he was talking. He was a Travis Allen supporter. He was talking about when he talked to John Cox. The first thing he asked him was, "Where do our rights come from?" And Cox, he questioned him on the Constitution, and Cox gave him the correct answers the whole time. Travis didn't know some.
Well, Travis actually, that was whenever we were at Chili's, correct?
Yeah,
And he asked, I forget what the question was, and maybe if David's listening, he can call in. But he asked Travis Allen a question about the Constitution, and he said there was just dead silence.
yeah.
And he says, "Well, Travis, what do you think?" And I was waiting for you to answer for me. That was Travis Allen's answer.
That's a John Dukes answer. Wait until somebody screams it out from the audience.
Exactly. On the First Amendment, that was his. On the First Amendment, he
I
could.
don't know. I can't figure out
And there's
any of the five parts of it.
Exactly. There's 5 parts to the First Amendment, and he couldn't give us one.
Yep.
Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. He couldn't give one.
No.
Not one. Just blank stare, chrome dome shining in your eye.
Duh.
Oh, I don't know.
But remember, they all took an oath
That's
of
right.
allegiance to the Constitution.
Oh, wow. Wow. It's almost time for us to take a break.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back from the break. So, here we go.
Okay. Sorry about that. I was looking up looking up some stuff here on the internet because it's my library. It is my library, and I love it.
Everybody's wanting to know in the text messages where Tammy is today. Where is Tammy? Where is Tammy? We can't have a show without Tammy.
She got another Mother's Day.
I played the song for her that we were going to miss her. Remember that?
Yep.
Oh, that's too funny. No, we really miss her, but she's at home having another Mother's Day. So I'll see her in just about 50 minutes, honey.
Hey, Mark Boomer would like to say hi.
Oh, he would, huh?
Yeah. First, I'd like to say I do enjoy listening to your weekly radio show. In listening to today's show, there was a concern mentioned regarding my motivation for my consideration for running for city council this November. What was mentioned was that my motivation may be to receive a pension and to pay for my health insurance.
Yep.
Please know that if elected, I will be declining any form of compensation regarding health insurance and pension that would be provided to a city council person.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
Now, if you're still listening,
I also will be donating any pay received for an elected city council person, including travel and meeting compensation to local nonprofits.
awesome.
Now,
But
who is this?
Now,
That's,
are
Mark
you willing to
Baumgarten.
go to a Constitution class
There
on
you-
top of that?
there
So
you
if you're
go.
still listening, please send us a private message again and let us know, because we'd like to sign you up for the Constitution class. Because here's the deal. If you go, we're going to give you a radio ad.
We're going to feed you too.
We're going to feed you. And we're probably going to end up voting for you because at least we know you know a little bit about the Constitution. But the fact is we need you to go. And here's why. If you do go, then we know it'll twist the arms of other people to go. And all we're looking to do is get some good candidates in there
Educated.
educated on the Constitution, so whenever they take the oath, they know what they're taking an oath of. So, Mark, if you're listening, we would really appreciate it if you'd go ahead and commit to that and get that going, because we would like to have you as the first. I mean, being a fireman myself for a few years up in Butte County and Modoc County, Lassen Modoc Ranger Unit, I would love to have you as a city councilman, but we got to know where your heart is, buddy. That's just, I mean, that's all there is to it.
Hey, this is off of my constitutional website here, and it says, or the Constitution Party. So I got all kinds of little things I'm going to throw in there today. But it says, we will only be seeking candidates that accept and recognize that all elected officials are public servants. We are seeking representatives, not rulers. You know how today the language has been used, and everybody that is pretty much elected or in a position of authority, you know, they want to call them public officials. And we always say public servants, and we go back and forth, and sometimes we get trapped in that language that has been put down on us, right? So,
They always want to change the language.
but yes, but we're seeking elected officials that are public servants. Now, that pretty much says it right there.
Talking about language, and Thomas has a dictionary, 1828.
Webster's.
No Webster. And that's where most of the, I mean, Webster was a signer also, wasn't he? I'm sure
Yes.
he was. That's where the definitions of the words when our Constitution was first put in force. That's where the definitions reside there. Over the years, the progressives like to change they changed from liberal, they stole liberalism, which was actually a libertarian view. They stole that. And then when everybody started talking bad about liberals, they changed their name to progressives. And I don't know where they're going next, but
I got a few words for him.
I got
The language is always being perverted, in
Yep.
no matter what culture you're in.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're using the language to try and shift the mindset. It's a propaganda tool, basically.
Why do you hate children so much?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's the deal, right? If you're a Republican, you hate
You hate
children.
clean water.
Right,
You hate
yeah.
clean air. You
Yes.
hate children.
Yeah.
Makes me, I've got to go back to the Mark Baumgarten thing. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy that we've got these guys' attention and they're listening and paying attention to what we're saying. It means that they're going to be listening to their constituents this year,
Good.
you know? And it's about time.
Something
I mean, it
they
really
should
is.
do.
I just can't picture you being warm and fuzzy.
He's just a nice little cute teddy bear.
Look through the glass. This is what it looks like. It's not much change from whenever I'm not warm and fuzzy.
You know, a public servant has the obligation to listen to the people, but that does not mean that he has the obligation to do whatever the people say or
that's right.
want. He has a greater obligation, and that is to find out what is best for the people and what lines up with the Constitution. Okay, that's his obligation.
Yeah, but it's a very, very
Because-
fine line. That's a very fine line.
Yes, it is, but it's a walk you got to be willing to take.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, just like as an employer, you know, all the employees might want this, that, or the other, but you know that the best thing for everybody there is going to be to do what you told them to do,
Yep. Exactly.
and it kind of follows that line.
But it's still
you have to be
but
a
it's
leader.
Still, but it's still different because the fact is, as an employer, it's my way or the highway. Sorry, that's the way it is. We're going to do it my way.
Yes.
And on the other end of it, as a public servant, it's the employee's way or the highway if they become irate, because they can fire you and get another one in there. So, I mean, but it is a fine line. They can't, and I think what you're trying to say is that they have to follow the Constitution first. Then they need to do what their constituents
You know, I think
want.
what we need to do is get staff in here.
Tell us what's going on.
Tell us how it works.
baloney.
Tell them how the Constitution
Well,
works.
I'm sure Darren Gale could come in here and tell us all how it's going to work and how it's going to be, and
Darren?
that we're not going to sell a 16-ounce beer.
We love you, Darren. Come on down, baby.
But what I'm saying is that there's got to be a balancing act that takes place,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? And the person that nobody's forcing anybody into that position, right? Just like the police officer, nobody forced him to
Nope.
take the job.
Nope.
So he has a higher obligation to seek out what is the calling that he's involved in and how to best make it happen. You know what I mean? And it's not always doing what your people want, okay? Because that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Did you guys see this? I am
Hey.
warm and fuzzy.
Oh,
Tammy said so.
Oh, Tammy said so. Mom said so. It's got to be true. And you read it on the internet too, I think.
I mean, it's got all winning points right there.
Hey, you told me that you went in Sacramento. You were working right there by the Capitol, and you went to one of John Cox's functions there where he stood up to a bunch of state workers.
I was thinking about that the other day. I didn't go.
Oh,
I
okay.
was told by one of the people that, not one of the people that I work for, but does what I do.
Yeah,
You know, because
yeah.
we build wage income adjusted housing and everything.
Right.
John Cox went to a multifamily workshop and stood up and told 1,500 different developers and builders that he was going to cut the funding of the multifamily wage income adjusted funding for those buildings, and stood right there and told them. And this guy come up and he was laughing to me, and he says, he said, how is he ever going to be able to run and make it anywheres whenever he comes to tell people that he didn't even know what crowd he was talking to, is what I was told. This verbatim, the guy said he obviously didn't even know where he was and how bad he cut his throat. Well, I don't even remember who the guy was that told me that.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I wonder what he's thinking now.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot to be said, regardless of whether you see eye to eye with somebody, if they'll tell you the truth. And there's a lot of people out there who think the same way as I do, that are in construction, that I don't care whether you like what I do or not. Tell me the truth. I can work with that.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, the boys that I work for, they don't care if they cut all the public funding out of those buildings. They're going to shift gears because they know if they cut all the money out of public funding, there's going to be more money to build private stuff, and that's what my next building is all private.
Yeah.
So it's all private money because we're going to sell condos.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's plain and simple.
I
You
think-
shift gears and go.
I think Cox knew exactly where he was.
No, I do too.
Exactly.
And told it like it is.
Yeah.
And that's what needed to be said. So, man, that just raises him up another notch for me.
Yeah, and I was
know?
thinking about that last night. It's funny you brought that up because I was thinking about that last night laying in bed for this show, and I forgot about it. So I'm glad you brought that up because he did. He went to a function of 1,500 of these people who are building these wage income adjusted housing projects and told them straight up, there's not going to be any more money for this, so finish the one you're on.
Excellent.
But everybody knows it is. I mean, we do this and we get paid public funds and private funds. But the fact is we know we can shift gears, and if the job's there, we'll sell private.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter to us. We're going to shift gears and find a way to make money.
As it should be.
Yeah.
So-
and we need to really the bottom line is this public-private partnership stuff. That's fascism.
that is.
It needs to be
It is.
eliminated.
That's all I got.
And not only that, but the problem is I don't care what you say. It does not make it any easier on me whenever it's publicly and it's multi-funded.
For sure. It takes.
Oh my gosh, it
You
just makes
gotta-
it that much worse.
Yeah.
Yes, bureaucrats and like
You think
when,
dealing-
when we see a project going on the road construction, and you wonder why in the world isn't this thing going faster? Okay, or why aren't these guys out here working?
Well, did they have
Well,
a sign up there that said it was being funded by your tax dollars? I mean,
I don't know about that, but what it could be something as far as simple as they submitted a certain fastener, and because it's not exactly right in the book, that it's got to go up a chain of command to 30 different people to finally decide if you can use this fastener or not. You know what I'm talking about, Jason?
Oh yeah.
And that's the bureaucratic
well, and
deal.
check it out. You'd think it's bad dealing with just a public entity that you're working in their jurisdiction. Get the feds involved with your ADA stuff. They've got a whole different set of rules than the California CalDAG. They've got a whole different set of rules that you got to abide by with their ADA. And the problem is then your building inspector, your local building inspector, doesn't know what he's looking at. And so then you've got to prove to him. Now the burden of proof is on me that I met all the federal crap that I had to meet. And I have to prove it to the building inspector because he's afraid of his losing his job because he doesn't know what his job is.
Who was telling us about the roads where they had to go scrape them off on the on-ramps? Were you with me then?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't there on that one.
Yeah, that's
Well, check it out. I had the
feds
city
have no business even being involved in that.
Well, and then I had the city of Sacramento, bless their heart, tried to hold up a $60 million project for some spray paint on the ground to spray paint stop on the ground. Let me tell you how that went over.
Why do you hate pedestrians so much?
Let me tell you how that went over. You hold up a $60 million project over some spray paint.
Yeah.
You chase that far enough up the food chain, and I'm going to walk right around that one, guys. Sorry. It's unbelievable.
I'm going to go back to this city guy that might be running for city council.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Boomgarden.
Boomgarden.
Mark.
Has he replied
Okay.
yet?
No, he hasn't.
All right,
Okay.
I'm anxious to hear that.
So that raised an eyebrow for me.
Me too.
When he said, I'm not looking to make any money on this deal. So
I commend him.
for me, that gives me the idea. Well, I might listen to this guy.
Yes,
I want to see who. I want to know who he is.
It's one step in the right direction.
It's a big step in the right direction. And you know what? I would even challenge him even one step further. I want to see him go to that Constitution class.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, if he'll live up to what he just said and he'll go to the Constitution class, he's beat out everybody that I could possibly fathom running right now. And we need to have him into literally, if you're listening, buddy, that gets you a free ride into this studio, and we're going to talk to you and sit you down and talk to you. Now, we're not going to throw you softball questions either.
No, we're not.
But you know what?
Believe
It'll get you right out in the front running right now because we want to talk to you. So, yeah.
I hope you're a better negotiator than the two that were telling us how great it was that they couldn't got a good enough deal if they tried to negotiate without bringing in their rivals to get their
What the heck
bid
are you talking about?
Recology.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was a Stinky and Sweet Life.
Yeah, Sweet Life there is, Well, we know what he did. And there's no denying it.
No.
I mean, whenever you're going to a sweet box and then voting for him 2.5 weeks later, there's an issue there, buddy. So,
Just a small one.
But hey, that's what we're here for, is to hold some people's feet to the fire. And it's actually kind of fun, too.
So they're having 3 seats open on city
Three
council.
seats open. So check it out. This is what that does.
Oh.
Five set on the council, right? So if we elect 3 new ones, guess what? Doesn't matter what the 2 old ones do.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I really, truly believe in my heart, and it's my opinion, that Manny Cardozo is a follower. You put a little bit of pressure on that guy, he's going to fold like a lawn chair. And that's what I think.
That's for you, Manny.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark wants you to repeat that question about the constitutional class.
Oh, we got a constitutional class that my wife, I'm sure you know Tammy Reichert. She's worked in the building department there for 21 years before she got fed up with it and left, and now works for City of Sacramento as a plan checker. She puts on a constitutional class, and she's going to do one for the public servants that are going to be running for office. And we are inviting all of you guys to go to the class. Now, as in with the sheriff, we need one to commit so it twists the arms of the others to go. And I have no problem saying it because the fact is we will get one of you to go, I promise. And then the others will need to go because they don't want to miss out on something that's constitutional and miss out on that meeting all the voters that are going to be there. Because usually there's 20 to 30, maybe 40 people that go to these things, and then you're going to get free time to talk to them. Plus, we're going to give you a free radio ad that will air once a weekend, 60-second spot, maybe twice a weekend, depending on how much we like you. And so we were asking you to go to a constitutional class. It's a one-day seminar. I think it's 4 hours long, but it may be 6. And it's really worth your time. She does a good job putting it on. We'll feed you lunch. But we want to make sure that you understand the Constitution when you go to the class. After you come out of the class, that you got some Constitution ethics about you.
Hey, and
all the city staff that supports the council should come too.
And I mean, the thing is you're going to swear an oath to uphold the Constitution whenever you take office.
So
you should know a little bit about
it.
You should know a little bit about it.
Yeah, and you can even break one out before you ever come. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
This
Study
afternoon.
ahead.
Afternoon might not be a bad time to break open the Constitution.
I
and
just
look
got a
at it.
text from Tammy. It's a 6-hour class.
Oh,
so it's going to take a little bit of your time. But the fact is figuring what a radio ad is going to cost you, a 60-second spot every weekend. Plus, we're going to get you into the studio and talk to you. So, I mean, we're throwing you a bone to get you to go. But the fact is we really want you to go, and we want everybody who's going to run to go to make sure that they understand the Constitution or can't say, you know what, I really don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
It's going to take that cop-out away.
There is no date yet, but
There is no date,
No.
but it's coming up. I'll have Tammy put it together. Well, I'll ask Tammy to put it together, and she'll get a date set.
And basically, going to that class is not going to make you a constitutional scholar by no means. You're just getting your feet wet.
yeah, you're going to
You know
get
what
some
I mean?
insight.
But the thing is it's going to take away that cop-out of, I had no idea that was in the Constitution.
Yes,
Because it's going to give you some really key points about the Constitution.
Yes.
And what your job is to uphold it as a city servant.
Yes. We're going to talk about interposition, right? The duty of a public servant to interpose on behalf of the people.
And I dare you to ask the two sheriffs that went if, for one, they've learned something, and for two, if it wasn't worth their time.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can guarantee you Brandon Barnes or Jeff Pierce, either one will say it was worth their time and they did learn something. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So,
And maybe we'll solicit them to attend again.
yeah.
you
Oh, yeah,
know?
we'll definitely
Because
ask
you
the
ain't
question.
going to pick it all up in one setting.
No, and this is a different class. It's not the sheriff and the
Yes,
citizen that
yes.
they had. And theirs was a full 8 hours. I mean, it almost ended up being like 10 hours. It was a long time. But also, we're going to give you at lunchtime a chance to stand up, address the audience that's there. So you're going to get some free airtime there to talk to the people who are attending and give your spin on the Constitution and how you plan to uphold it. And that would be a very good time to bring out that you plan on donating the money back and not taking the insurance. That's awesome. And I mean, right there, you've got all of our attention. And I mean, I know it's only 5 votes, but the fact is
Citywide.
it's 5 votes, and then everybody we talk to, and then everybody in our family. I mean,
Everybody
and then,
they talk to.
and then we also run the Constitutional Republicans, which has about, I think, 150 members now. So
Sutter Butte's Tea Party.
Yeah,
we get
it-
mailing list of 500 or so.
exactly, it wraps up pretty quick. It's actually a pretty good thing. We have a pretty good listener base, and we follow pretty well on Facebook.
It's a pretty sad commentary that we're here compelling people to do what they should have
do.
already been
Yeah.
doing.
Well, I just found a website that will compel a lot of people. It's just the top 100 taxes and usage fees that we pay, just the top 100.
Wow.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm sitting here looking, it's just ticking me off. I mean, here's a tax on indoor tanning services. You probably don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that one a lot, Jason.
No, I spend enough time on the water that I'm pretty good to go.
I'm sitting here reading some. It's my goodness.
Yeah, give us another one, Randy.
Oh well, there's this hazardous material disposal fee estimated. Let's see.
Well, that's human waste now. I used to just go throw it in the ditch when I was a kid, you know.
Hang on.
Well, I thought used motor oil was weed killer forever.
It isn't?
Well, I thought that was chip seal. I thought that
Exactly
kept the
that.
dust down on your road. At least it was when I was a kid. Now check it out. I'm
Worked good,
surprised.
too.
I'm surprised that they haven't put a tax to where you got to register your solar panels and pay a tax on those
Well,
every
thanks.
year.
You just let them know now.
Hey,
Well, it's like it's actually California tax.
that's what I was talking about earlier, Jason. They're going to tax the sun.
That's
Oh,
right.
exactly. I mean, but that's it. I mean, you buy a solar panel, it'll be just like a car, and you have to re-register it every year to keep
Oh,
it
yeah, there you go.
facing the sun.
Yes.
Because we got to have that tax. It's the fee. It's the fee for the fee.
Yes.
It's the tax.
Yep. The Fifi. We got to remember that little slogan right there, the Fifi.
The fee. It's a fee for the fee.
Give us another one,
I think
Randy.
gasoline's got several of those fifis on it.
Yes, it does.
Oh, there's a lot of just stupid ones. Sports stadium tax, bike license fees.
Hotel tax.
You know, I mean, when you really think about it, why should you have to pay to get a marriage license?
One
To
of
get
our
married.
The government
I mean-
should have no business. They only put that in there. They only got into the marriage license business because the Democrats insisted on it after the Civil War.
To stop
Because
blacks
they didn't
from
want
marrying
blacks
whites, right?
marrying whites. That's a bunch of crap.
Oh, that was the Democrats?
check it out.
Oh yeah.
Amazing how.
How is that? Nights in white satin.
I just got a text from one of our listeners. It's thanks for the solar panel advice. They just put in a big solar array on their house. And they're going, "Good job, Jay. Good job."
Hey, it's coming, I believe, unless the people stand up. You
Yes.
know? They're gonna
There's
tax-
got to be
they're
an
gonna
end
tax
to
the
it
sun.
because government will never stop growing.
Yes.
Well,
Ever.
I'll tell you, every
And
time I bid a new project, I'm looking for more money.
Well,
So what's going to stop them? They're going to
Oh,
always
yeah.
be looking for more money.
But you're not using OPM.
Exactly. Nope. I'm getting it from private entities and they're paying me and life is good. But the whole thing is nobody's ever going to stop looking for more money if they can find a way to get it.
it's like these taxes, they're only going to be for 2 years, or they're only going to be it's like the bridge tolls. They were only supposed to be
Yes.
till the bridge. Has any of them ever gone away?
So
Matter of fact, they just raised it on the
On the Bay Bridge.
Bay Bridge, yeah.
$6. And somebody was talking about
6
that.
to 9.
Oh, to $9?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, somebody was saying the other day that, well, you only have to pay one way. No, that's not true. You pay going both ways because when you come back, you don't have to pay on the Bay Bridge, but you got to pay on the Carquinez Bridge
Exactly.
Yep.
well, and they
or the
just-
Benicia Bridge.
So this person just put in 54 panels. Wow. So if they only charged you $2 a panel per year, that'd only be $108 per year. You can afford that.
Yeah.
It's not a big
That's
deal.
cheap for sun.
It's cheap for it's cheap whenever you're doing away with using all that PG&E. You can just give it to the city now.
You can't even sell it back to PG&E anymore.
Oh man!
So-
And what's bad is they want to do it. They won't. Apparently, the solar companies won't put in more than you use.
Yeah.
So they do it on an average because you can't generate more than you will use because they don't want to go back into the system. Well, that's why don't get a permit. I put in way more than I needed because I knew that I'm going to be recharging batteries. I'm going to want, I want to have more.
There's little children in the world running around without any damn batteries.
Without any, I'm stealing their sunshine. Is that what you're
That's
saying?
right.
Is I'm stealing their sunshine?
Yep.
Well, then I'm stealing it. But you know what? God will make more.
That's
it's
right.
okay. There's plenty to go around.
more sunshine or more children?
Both.
Oh,
Both. God bless him. God bless everybody.
yep. No, I don't know. It's a crazy world we live in right now, but I just can't believe what we actually pay in taxes. And I mean, you think about it, you pay your tax bill every year, but then you got your house tax, your property tax. Then you've got sales tax whenever you go to the store, and then you've got Yuba City wanting to put on a 1% sales tax on top of the sales tax, and I mean it's literally the fee. we're gonna put a fee on top of the fee because
Look at gas.
we need more money.
Look at gas, and that's not counting the taxes on the refineries. The
Well-
refineries aren't getting away for
Yep.
free.
Did you see on the news about these reporters going out and asking people about these gas taxes and how many of them are actually, well, if it'll fix the roads, it's really worth it.
Yeah.
Do they not realize that the taxes we were paying before were supposed to fix the roads?
Yes.
Exactly.
And the clean water bills we pass over the last
Oh, my
30 or 40 years opposed to clean water and the clean air bills that I've never voted yes on that California has passed over the 30 or 40 last years. We're supposed to clean the air.
What is a kitty
When are you people
tax?
going to quit being so stupid?
They're not going to fix the roads, man.
They're not going to fix
Well,
it.
and check it out.
They're going to use that for more welfare.
The new building that I'm building down in Sacramento bills out at $72 million.
Yeah.
To do my first round of plan check, I had to pay $500,000 in fees for the first round plan check. $500,000 in fees,
And that's not even getting
That's-
started.
and that's not even getting
Unbelievable.
started.
Yeah.
That's not any of my other fees that I have to pay for public works or anything else. That's literally the plan check fee to get the ball rolling.
Just to make sure the plans you submitted are okie dokie.
Exactly.
It costs a lot of money to live in socialistic
Yes, it does.
paradise.
Yes, it does. But I mean, no lie. I mean, it's $500,000 is a check I took down to get the ball rolling. That isn't all the fees I'm going to pay. That's just to get the ball rolling and inching forward.
Yeah.
It's scary.
And these are public entities that are already supposed to be employed by our tax base, right?
Yeah. They're
So-
working for us.
Yeah.
They got our best interest in heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
I don't know.
I don't know what to think about it. I'm fed up with that.
Now, here's alternative minimum tax on income. It's a little vague.
What?
What was that?
The alternative. tax.
Alternative minimum tax on income.
I'm losing that warm and fuzzy feeling that I had pretty quickly.
I
Just so
think
you know.
Trump already said he's going to file 13 nat.
Estimated income tax underpayment penalty.
Oh, I get that almost every year.
And here's one that says kitty tax. IRS Form 8615. What the heck?
Like kitty cat?
No, KIDDIE.
Kitty. I've seen that word before, but I don't know what it means.
Well, is that how you spell Miss Kitty like up at...
Up at the Ponderosa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that word, to tell you the truth. KIDDE. What do you got, Bill?
Tax on a child's investment income, which is taxed at the parent's rate under certain conditions. So if you put away something for your child under his name,
Oh,
they're
how
going to
dare
tax.
you? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's don't. Hey, you're
Well, the
cheating
government-
us out of some money here,
The
boys.
government's going to raise your kids, so they need the money.
Of course they do.
Well, it takes a village.
It
you
does.
know-
Oh, don't even get me started there.
Now, I never did dig a little deeper on this, but in the pastor's sermon this morning, he talked about in Sweden now, they have come to the place, they're already at 51% tax, okay? And they realize that there's so much cash out there that the people are using, okay? And trading back and forth with the
Black market
yes,
cash.
amongst themselves, right? So they decided now that they're coming out with new currency, okay? Or they have come out with a new currency. So they've said in 6 months' time or whatever they did, then your old currency is worthless, right? So that's the plan, man.
Here
you
it
know?
comes.
Yeah.
Did you see that special the other night on TV about the Bitcoin mining? The big cities that are building these huge facilities. I tried to do a little reading, but it's way past
There
my.
was-
But it's $700 million they're spending on this machine to do Bitcoin
Yeah.
mining.
And
Wow.
I don't get it. I mean,
Bitcoin's been going sideways for the last 6 months.
I haven't looked into that Bitcoin enough to know, but
You
I
know,
mean, I'm aware of it.
Up
but-
there in Carson City, because electricity, and it takes electricity to mine Bitcoins.
and a lot, and
A
it's
lot.
very hot. And I know where you're going. Go ahead.
And up there at Carson City, there was some investor, Bitcoin investor, come in and bought hundreds of thousands of acres up there because the electricity was so cheap to put in production facilities to mine Bitcoins. I
Okay.
don't know how
Can
that's
you
going to
can you
go.
break that down for me? I mean, they send in some prospectors.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
are these
This
Bitcoins
is just
buried into
computers.
sand
This
or
is
what?
just-
Bitcoins are
Algorithms and that are. I tried to
It's
comprehend.
beyond Brandy's comprehension.
Very much so.
No, apparently it's about code writing and stuff like that you can earn Bitcoin. And you can do something that's untangible and earn something that's untangible. That's worth lots of money.
yeah.
And not only does
It's
it
simple.
take a lot of electricity to run it,
Yes,
the
it
heat that it puts out, they have to put cooling.
Now they make what's called ASIC machines that are made primarily for finding those algorithms, finding those unique numbers.
So
But
this is
for
all
the-
computers.
For the most part, people are using video cards because the video card has the ability to do certain types of mining, and there's different Bitcoins, so there's different algorithm, and some of them will do one type, and some of them will do another. And right now, it's about a break even. You're not making much if you're paying for electricity in California.
But boy, for the people that got in that on the ground
Oh,
floor,
yeah.
I mean,
We laughed about it.
oh yeah,
20
my
years
brother
ago,
and I,
yeah.
and a couple of years ago at Thanksgiving, were kidding about well, what the heck is it? How can you buy something that's not there?
Yeah. Well, that's called a CFR or a FSR, FRS.
Yeah, FRS.
I'll get the. I'm acronymed out, folks. I'll tell you. Federal Reserve.
I think you might have got a contact high when you drove out here, man.
I tell
Well,
you,
you
for
know-
you guys that like to read books, if you get a book, it's called The Creature from Jekyll Island.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing about how the Federal Reserve
Yeah.
came about.
Oh yes, yes.
Somebody said Hauk is going to need some help unwrapping his truck.
That can happen.
Yeah, it can happen. It's just
Power washer.
What do we know on the deadline? I mean, when is the official vote going to be counted? Do you know?
January 1st. No, I don't know.
They've
At
only
the rate
got-
it's going.
Whenever they get
I
around,
think they've-
get it done, huh?
I think they've only got 30 days.
Yeah.
Oh, 30 days.
I usually it wraps up in about 2.5 weeks. We should know something, but I would imagine they're going to have it pretty well wrapped up next week, at least to where we know what's going on, and have a definite winner or a second place guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they should have it wrapped up that far by next week, I would imagine, but maybe not. Who knows? It may take
it's
another
going to
week.
be fun to see how that turns out. Isn't
Yes,
it
it is.
Yeah.
It really is, and I mean, Barnes for sheriff. Look at that.
Got me on the edge of my seat.
I think you should have just put Sheriff Barnes on that hat, but whatever. You don't want me to jinx him.
We'll see.
We'll see. No, I do like Brandon. He's a good guy. I think he's going to make a heck of a sheriff. So,
Jeff's a good guy too.
yeah, but
And I'm sure Dennis is too. But
I like Brandon's charisma. He gets it across. So we'll see.
I like them if they follow the Constitution. That's it.
I don't have any respect for somebody that's going to get up and just walk out of somewhere where they were invited and
Well,
make the kind of.
There's multiple things there. If you're going to go in and you're going to sucker punch somebody
Yep.
and then get up and run out, I'm sorry, but that's not sheriff material. If you're going to say somebody is online bullying you, again, not sheriff material. You deal with it. So there's a few things there that I don't think this sheriff material that
When he walked
Did
out,
it-
Sean
did
Harris
it.
was just clamping right at his heels.
Well, there's just a few things there that I didn't think was sheriff material. from
Sean,
Dennis.
why didn't you stick around?
Well, why would he? His candidate got up and left.
And you know, the Tea Party is not the and talk. I mean, Tammy was talking about the Constitution quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, and
She does that.
Might have been hurting her ears.
yeah, that's just something that these guys just don't want to
It
hear.
reminds
Some of
me
them.
with Dancing with Wolves. That Indians up. And I'm part Indian, so I can say Indian. That Native American.
Hey, you can say it anyway,
That's
man. We
right.
got freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Say what
And
you want.
he's standing up there on top of that mountain yelling at his brother down there in the valley when he was leaving. Quit saying those things. Your words are hurting my ears. Tammy says that August 10th is a candidate filing deadline, and I will have the class August 25th from 9 to 4, including lunch.
There you go.
August 25th, Mark.
There you go.
Don't be out of town that day.
Funny how we can get a lot done here at the radio show.
We can. And Mom's not even here.
I know.
But she's listening.
Oh, yeah, she is.
She's always
She
listening.
wouldn't miss it.
We love you, Mom.
Yes.
Hi, Tammy.
I hope you're having fun on your day off. Oh. No, it's going to be interesting. It'll be an interesting race. I just don't know how many people we're going to actually have running. Because I've heard up to 10 or 11 at this point, which will be pretty interesting. I would really like to unseat all the incumbents. That would be my big push, is unseat the incumbents. Let's get some new ones in there and see what we
Yep.
get.
Yeah, this wasn't meant to be a lifetime job.
No.
You know, when you're a
mean,
elected
like-
representative,
Like senators?
well, like senators, like congressmen,
yeah.
like, oh, God.
Hey, I'm going to read this out of my little notes here about from the Constitution Party. It says, right after it says, we will only be seeking candidates that accept and recognize that all elected officials are public servants. We are seeking representatives, not rulers. Most importantly, Constitution Party candidates will be strongly encouraged to sign a contract with the voters that lists the campaign promises that they will guarantee to accomplish while in office or face consequences. Okay, why a contract? When you deal with businesses and people that you do not know, the contract is the instrument that we use to ensure that both parties will keep their promises. Our politicians have shown that they cannot be trusted with their promises, and we are not going to ask you to trust us.
Well, check it out. I live and die by a contract, and you know the same
Yes,
thing.
yes.
You live and die by a contract.
Yes.
If there's a change order, you've got to prove to me that it wasn't in your bid.
Right.
If there is a change order, now I've got to go with the burden of proof is on me to make sure that it was in your bid. And if I didn't catch it on my plans and it's not in your bid, then I'm paying you extra money to do it.
Right.
And it don't come cheap.
Yeah. And it was like the analogy I used earlier, you know, with private business and public. You know, there's a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we want these people to live up to the end of the contract. Now, I believe when President Trump ran and he got elected, they've been saying, well, here's all his campaign promises, right?
Yep.
And is he living up to them? And I believe the man has been doing his best to live up to those to the contract.
Yeah.
That he signed with the people. pretty
I
much.
believe he has too. I mean,
Yes.
he's been doing
He
doing
went
a fine
after
job.
to try and eliminate the Obamacare
Yep.
deal, but our good Republicans in the Congress didn't give him enough support, did they?
No.
Yeah.
Even though they
John
were so
McCain.
against it. They were so against it. It needs to be repealed. It needs to be repealed until it came time to repeal it, and then, well,
Then
nothing.
they're missing in action.
Yep.
Sort of
Now-
like State of Jefferson.
Now,
People that ran on the State of Jefferson got into assembly.
Yep.
yes, we need now. I really do feel like it's ridiculous to have if you got to go to the emergency room or see end up in the hospital, that it can break you financially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is So when they're talking about the great American healthcare system, I'm not buying that either.
No.
You know,
And
so
insurance has got a lot to do with that.
we definitely got issues there.
Yes.
Big time.
And you can
Oh,
go
yeah.
into any federally funded hospital, and get health care.
Yeah, they have to serve it.
And you do not have to pay them. They'll try and make you pay.
Yeah, but a man shouldn't, be totally ruined.
No, but it's
Financially.
not. But it's not a right either. I
It's
mean,
not a
there is
right.
No,
No,
there is
it's
no
not a
right
right.
to health care.
And then
Quit smoking if you want better health.
there's the good old fashioned Bible.
Yeah.
That's the best healthcare program going.
That's right.
Right? You can seek help from God Almighty.
And it tells you what to eat.
Yeah, tells you what to eat. So
You okay in there, Jason?
Oh yeah, I'm reading stuff and looking around and seeing what's going on. And yeah, everything's looking good. So I don't know.
here's another little line from the.
Go ahead.
It says, "The Constitution Party boldly declares to America that the federal government should only be involved in government roles as outlined in the Constitution.
Heaven forbid.
The best government is local government."
You
So,
mean
I'm liking the
no Department of Energy, no Department of
Yes.
Education, no Department of
Bureau of Land Management.
Bureau of Land Management, because they don't own any other land than what is they're allowed to in the Constitution, which is forts and
Yep.
armories and
only
Pin
what's
square
been
mile.
enumerated in the
That's right.
Constitution. That's the federal government's role, and we can see that it's become a massive octopus over the people.
I got something I want to bring up. Jason, maybe you've noticed. Have you seen all the federal fish and game vehicles in town lately? Not state, federal.
Yeah, did they do a hiring or something? Because I have seen a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all over
They
the
are.
place. And I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why. But yeah, you're right. I have seen a ton of federal fishing game. A ton.
Yep. I see them all the time now.
And I used to never see one. Well, fishing game period, you'd hardly ever see
Well, I mean,
them.
I've seen the California fishing game, the green, but these are
Well,
big black
I know.
SUVs.
I
and-
got you. But I'm saying, it's very seldom that you'll see a fishing game
Right.
in our neck of the woods unless you're on the river or you're out at one of the game refuges. But now I've been seeing them quite a bit, and you're right. The big black SUVs with the federal fishing game.
Yep.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
I wonder what the heck that's all about.
I don't know.
Hey, maybe they're men in black.
Okay, Mark Baumgartner says, count me in for August 25th.
All right. Well, then,
August 25th, all the rest of you
Here goes the
non-committed.
challenge.
There you go.
I don't care if
The
they're
bar
committed
has
to
been
something
set.
or something. Change it. I mean, August 25th, I'm sorry,
It's a
but
long ways out.
That's 2 months. That's over
right,
2 months
yeah.
out. So make it happen there, folks. And you know what? Thank you, Mark. Whenever you're ready, you give us a date, and we'll get you out here on the show. You'll have to give us a couple of dates because we're usually pretty busy, but we'd love to have you on the show and talk to you about what you've got coming up and
What
get you
your
ready to
plans
go.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
And get your contract signed.
yeah. And you're not doing it for us, man.
Hey, we'll even give you a
You're
free
doing it for yourself.
Constitution.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it for the people of the community.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really like his idea about giving the money back. I think that's awesome because, he is retired
Yeah.
and he should be looking for
He's
something.
stuck in
to-
there a long time, and I don't
Exactly. And you know what?
Really many of
What I would really like to see is hear what he's going to do with holding the city employees. Well, not the employees, but the city manager's feet to the fire, to where the city manager is holding the employees' feet to the fire that are missing those budgets and things like
would
that.
have some Spaldings, as Lou puts it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because there's no reason that I can't remember their names. I know Diane's one over there in the engineering department, and then the other guy, I think his name is Matt. I don't remember, but they need to be paying attention to these budgets they're putting together for these road projects.
You can't
and things.
miss it by 20%.
You can't miss it by that much. There's no way. And then come back and have the nerve to ask for more. Come on, guys. If I missed my job like that, I wouldn't have a job. Period. And I don't see why you need one if you miss it by that much. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. There's just no excuse. Find somebody who can actually put a budget together.
I think they need better negotiators.
Yeah. And you know what? What is this sign and change orders? Come on. If I sign a change order, well, let me tell you, I better have a darn fine excuse why we're signing it. And then you know what? I'd better beat it down by about 25 or 30% too. It's not just an open checkbook to where I can just sign them and there you go.
I used to love change orders.
Yeah,
That's
you were working on the other end of me.
It always made up for that really sharp pencil.
Exactly.
You know, that's another thing Sutter County did. They got an internet attack. So AT&T says, hey, we can fix that. It's emergency. Only $30,000 fee. $30,000 to do what they should be doing for free. They're the upstream service provider for the county of Sutter. They should have those attacks handled for free for nothing, yet they're charging over $2,100 a month. And Sutter County Supervisor said, yep, let's do it. 30 grand right out the door.
Wow.
And this is for what? What happened?
This is for internet attack.
Internet attack.
Attack, yeah. They were getting attacked and they couldn't do their job for a day.
So to some 12-year-old kid sitting in his bedroom
Exactly.
cost the county $30,000 just to see if he could do it.
And AT&T is their service provider.
Yes.
But
they're their upstream service provider.
Yeah.
They should be handling that at no charge.
For
They
sure.
handle it for everybody. But
But
knowing the government would pay.
They know a cash cow when they see
That's
it. too,
exactly
right?
right. That's
That
exactly
person
right.
writing that change order or signing that change order isn't responsible for that money.
No.
So guess what? I'll just sign it. It's
And
all
put-
good. Get
and-
us our internet back up. I can't play on Facebook. Come on.
And what are the IT people there in the county doing? They couldn't handle some of that?
Apparently not. Because if they could, they wouldn't be paying AT&T. Well, maybe they were on break.
Yeah, well.
Maybe they were taking a
They could
break.
have been on vacation, you know.
So, well, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting, and I'm really glad to hear that Mark Boomgarden's doing that, and it's going to be running, because you know what that's going to do? Is it's going to drag old Stanley out to a Constitution class
Oh
that he don't
my
want to go
God.
to, and it's probably going to drag a few others too. So, you know what? Thank you, Mark, very much. We appreciate your commitment.
There you go, Mark.
But we're also going to hold your feet to the fire on it too. So,
Yeah, bring your fireman shoes out.
no, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to the city council race, and I'm looking for the sheriff. Forward to the sheriff also. I think that's going to be awesome.
Anybody that goes to the Constitution class is ends up blessed. Actually,
They are.
Yeah.
We instead of compelling them to come, we should be charging them to come.
Well, we should.
But you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
I'm saying the benefit to them is going to be far superior.
I know what you're saying, but
Yeah.
right now I would
No.
much rather pay their way and just get them to go, because that's the
Yeah.
society we're living in right now.
So I was just using that
I
as
know.
an analogy, man.
I know.
I don't want to try and get into their pocket.
No, but I'm just saying I think it's good if we can, and like I say, I'm sure it'll be like the sheriff race now. Once we got one to commit and go, the others are going to feel like they don't feel like they have to. They're going to know they're going to have to, because the people who are there are going to realize, and not only that, but honestly, if you don't go, we are going to tear you apart. I mean, seriously, if you don't want to go to the Constitution class, but you want to run for office,
And you want to swear an oath
Yep.
to it?
we're going to tear you apart if you don't go. So
Well,
sorry,
we're gonna-
that's the way it goes.
We want to ask you some questions about the Constitution.
And why you didn't go to the class.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I got a correction to
Oh,
make.
dang, that 2 hours went by
I
fast.
know. I got a correction to make. Last week I said I graduated grammar school in '67. I just added, took away 4 years from my life. I graduated grammar school in '63, and I had to pass the Constitution course. And I knew, they taught me how government worked, which was great. But they didn't tell, because they'd taken God out of the schools in 1963. They didn't tell me all the implications of Christianity based in the making of the Constitution.
Wow.
So
You graduated grammar school in '63.
I'm sorry.
And then I was born 10 years later.
Yeah. My goodness, man. I was only 4 years old in 1962. How old are you?
I'm ancient.
I wasn't even thought of in 1963.
I was 5.
There you go.
Wow.
You guys are just pups.
So you got a few years on us there, Bill.
Yeah, a couple. It shows every once in a while.
Now, it'll be an interesting race for city council, and then we've got 2 others with it, with the Sutter County Supervisors District 3, is it? Old Ziggy's going to make it, I think, though. I think I'm throwing my weight behind, and I got quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
I'm throwing my weight behind Ziggy Meyer.
Now, we didn't talk much about Yuba County.
Yeah, we need to get Missler in there. How
Yes,
important
we
it
do.
is.
Missler needs to
How
be
is
in
that
there.
race going there?
Let me pull
John's
it up.
ahead by 20 votes.
20 votes.
Yeah.
John is ahead of Alton Wright by 20 votes.
But he
Second
was
place.
moving in the right direction.
Second place.
Yes.
Second place.
Because he was only 10 behind at the first count.
Yeah.
And now he's only 376 behind Randy Fletcher.
Well, we got to get him in the runoff.
So
that we can-
apparently,
Yes.
if you buy a new fire truck and you buy a new police truck, it does get you some
Hey,
votes.
get you some votes up there in District 5.
Yes,
Yuba
it does.
County.
So, Mitzler, get out your checkbook.
I think he bought it with other people's money.
Oh,
He
no
did.
more OPM. Huh?
Well, yeah, I'm sure he did, but it's
Drug
just one of those
addicted
things.
mothers.
How bad do you want it? No, it'll be interesting to see that. I hope
that-
Mitzler gets it because I like his idea of transparent government, and I believe with his paper you would really have that.
Yes. And I believe also the man is a lover of the Constitution.
But I'll tell you, I'm really, really shocked about Andy Vasquez only being ahead by 74 votes of Joan Saunders. I mean, I am I don't even know what to say.
Flabbergasted.
Literally, I just cannot believe it. And it's going to be interesting because only 74 votes, they've definitely got to run off. And Joan Saunders may end up pulling it out.
Now, what about candidate forums? I only saw him at the one candidate forum that we had.
They were at another one, and your buddy David Joyce that you were talking to at the
Yes.
first one didn't show up. I never did see David Joyce again at any forum after that.
David's wife is sick, and he can't make it everywhere.
Well, I just know that he didn't show up again after he said that the county is stronger than the private property owner.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we got to go. We're out. Talk to you guys next
Love
week.
you guys. God bless everybody.